We spent the last 2 years fixing up this sailboat to sail around the world, then stumbled across our dream boat and thought it'd be an easy upgrade. Well, the next 52 days were spent stranded in the mangroves where we watched our catamaran sink, turning our dreams into a living nightmare. Since then, we towed the boat 40 miles south down to Spice Island Marine in Grenada, where we plan to do whatever it takes to rebuild this boat and continue our journey. Welcome to Spirit Animal. Real life. What is up, everybody? Wow, we are real time, so this is just crazy because we're used to having these structured episodes, and now it just feels like we're just tripping over our own feet trying to keep up with reality, man. The cool thing about it is you guys get to come with us on a weekly basis, no matter what we're doing. We could go on an adventure tomorrow, or we could dive into a boat project and we're just gonna film it like it happens. So yeah, that's how it's gonna be. And right now we have 2 boats hauled out in this yard right now, and one of them we're giving away. The other one we want to get started on yesterday and fix it up and start sailing, but we've got some priorities. For those of you who don't know, this is our beloved monohull. We are giving it away in less than 2 weeks. We're drawing a random name, so we want to get it all shined up and ready for the winter, which means we've got to do some projects to it.
Yeah, a lot of small projects, a lot of cosmetic projects, little things that we just haven't gotten to over the last year or two, and we just want to give her to the next owner in a top-notch condition.
It's going to be exciting. We're going to keep it entertaining, so let's get started.
Let's go.
First thing we're gonna do is this cockpit table that we've been meaning to do since we set sail. We kind of just screwed it on because we were just in a rush to leave Fort Lauderdale a few years back, and we've never finished it. So we want to make sure that's nice and pretty, because right when you walk in the cockpit, that's like the first thing you see, and it needs to be a staple piece, especially with that nice shiny pole that's sitting in the middle of it. All right, so we want to strip off the wood finish, but first we got to strip off the stripper pole, which is pretty ironic. Anyways, that's the most stripping that's been done in this cockpit since we installed this damn thing. I know that's tough for some of you guys to believe, because most of y'all think you buy a sailboat and then there's just a flock of strippers for you waiting at every port. But I can assure you that this has definitely been used more as an oh shit handle than a stripper pole. Now we can sand. Anyways, we had to get the bottle jack out to release the tension off the roof so we could start sanding this bad boy. We got the 7-inch Milwaukee orbital and slapped on some 60 grit sandpaper so we could take off some real material. And I really can't tell you how much relief it brings to finally tackle this project. This is one of those things that's going to transform the entire cockpit, and I've always imagined this rustic sailor meets yacht club vibe. Obviously a smooth glass finish to bring out the wood grain, but now I'm wondering if the new winner might want some non-skid.
Well guys, if you haven't heard already, we are giving away our monohull. She's a 50-foot Beneteau Cyclades, 3 cabin, 1, 2, 3, 2 head, and then we made a walk-in shower as well, just for comfort purposes. And if you guys have watched our entire first season, you know that we put a lot of love, care, and work into this boat. When we got her, she wasn't in the best shape. We completely customized a good majority of the interior. She's got some new floors. She means a lot to us. We really care about this boat. We created her into everything that we wanted, and now we're giving her away to one of you lucky followers. We're in a bit of construction mode, move out mode, but we want to make sure that we pass her off to the next owner in tip-top shape. And so we actually had a brand new stack bag made. The old stack bag had some wear and tear. We just had the riggers from Turbulence come over. Our roller furling wasn't working great. Turns out that there was barely any bearing left, so they've replaced that, and now it is working way better than it ever had for us. So that's a huge bonus. And then yeah, we want to put another coat of polyurethane on the floors and just shine her up and make her look good. Another thing I'd like to add is that all the proceeds from this giveaway are going to go directly towards fixing up this catamaran. So if you want to help support this project or just want the chance to win our boat, this is the perfect opportunity to do both. If you guys haven't heard about the giveaway yet, we only have less than 2 weeks left, and if you guys haven't entered, you can click the QR code up here. We also have our giveaway website down in the description, so go check that out, because the last day to enter is July 31st, and we'll be announcing the next winner of Spirit Animal the first week of August.
All right, back to the cockpit table, and I've got some good news. This wood is harder than trying to ignore the happy hour bell from the restaurant that's connected to the boatyard, which means your daddy's 7-inch stilettos won't leave a dent. Anyways, we started out with 60 grit to rip off the outer layer of weathered wood because this thing has just been outside getting rained on for the last 5 years. Then we rounded over the edges, made it all smooth and gave it that live edge look, and resanded it with 80, 120, 150, 180, and then 220 to minimize the pigtails and reveal the beautiful wood grain that's been hiding for years. Alright, so we got it sanded and it already looks 10 times better. Once we get some finish on here, it's gonna look amazing. Right now it's got this crack in it. This is also a beam from under here. Like I said, this was a scrap piece of wood that we're repurposing, and we're just gonna fill this hole just so water doesn't settle in it with some wood filler, and I think it's gonna look like $1 million regardless of what you do here, so let's do it.
It's like it's a perfect color.
Set this on there, let it dry, and then we're gonna sand that down. Sand just like regular wood, but you definitely want to pack it in there.
How long does it take to dry?
A couple hours.
Well, we put on the wood filler and we're gonna let it dry. It takes a couple hours to dry, but we'll be back to sand it. But right now, we're on to the next project.
They made it. No autopilot.
So you guys know that we have hung out with the Chasing Bubbles crew for a little bit. They usually have the boat up in St. Thomas, but we're sitting here at One Love, the restaurant, waiting for some lunch. And guess who sails in? Hey, Charles! Hi, Sam. So yeah, our good friend Charles, who we met cruising here in the Caribbean, he volunteered to sail Chasing Bubbles, or Bubbles, down from St. Thomas to here in Grenada. And they just got here. They just sailed in. So Bubbles is officially in Grenada and will be hauled out here for the summer. So yeah, we're having some new boat neighbors.
We are heading to the waterfalls. Which waterfalls are we going to?
We're going to Seven Sisters Waterfall. We have yet to go and really explore the island. So we got up early this morning and decided to start the day off with a mission.
This was not part of the plan, but we had a surprise visitor come in town. Charles, everyone, meet Charles.
Hello.
We saw him sail into the boatyard, and now we're heading to the waterfalls. So, never know where life's gonna take you, but it's time to get a jump off some waterfalls. Wrong turn. Well. Okay. I think you parked on the trailhead. Yes.
Start of the hike to Seven Sisters. It's pretty slippery. Okay, who's going first?
Oh!
I'll get you guys wiping out on camera, don't worry.
We got the drone in here. I'm gonna put this on the front so I don't land on it.
I was gonna say, as the clumsy one here, I don't know if I should be the one holding the camera. Anyone wearing the good shoes? Because they're not gonna last long.
Man, this is a steep hike. And it's very slippery. This is beautiful though. Lots of greenery, ferns, fresh air.
Yeah, it does feel good to be out.
Fire.
You guys started dancing and they stopped.
Apparently our dance moves ain't that good.
Woohoo! It's a hummingbird.
Hi, little guy. Come in and check us out.
Chill, bro.
Really cool hike.
Dude, someone put your hand there for size reference. All right, I don't know how fast these guys are.
Whoa.
Massive. Looks poisonous. Imagine camping and waking up with that thing on your face. That is massive. You know it's a good centipede when you gotta whip out the camera.
I hear water.
We're
Pretty
getting close.
crazy how much these trees block the sound of the water because we literally just heard it like 5 feet back.
Sounds like it's raging down there. Oh, Sash.
That was close.
Those are cool.
See the grand reveal.
We're at the stream. We have made it to the river, so now we're just gonna follow that upstream to the waterfall.
Okay.
Hit it.
Look at all these lobster haliconias.
Oh wow.
I've never seen so many in one spot. I think they're
That's so
lobster.
cool.
Yeah, I think that's
It's fresh water. Here, drink it.
Really?
No, this looks disgusting.
Oh.
This is like pure Grenada. The jungle. I can only imagine the people that sailed here hundreds of years ago. Can you imagine just hiking in, looking for fresh water, and you stumble across a place like this? I don't know if I'd leave. Legit, don't know if I'd leave. If I found a place like this, it'd be like park the pirate ship. We're setting up camp. Of course, that's when an arrow probably comes flying through the bush. This is pretty amazing.
Whoa! That looks like it's out of Jurassic Park.
Oh my, the tree, that is insane.
We're here at Seven Sisters Waterfall. This is gorgeous. That was a super cool waterfall. Perfect way to start the day before we get to work.
All right, so we got to talking about all the stuff we were daydreaming about with Rolf on the last episode. And we kind of came to the realization that we only got 3.5 months left until the sailing season starts. We don't want to be stuck here for a whole year, and we don't want y'all to watch projects for a whole year. So we've decided to do this in phases. We're gonna wait on the bow extensions and the sugar scoops. And we gotta get engines in here. We gotta make it livable because we wanna get out of here in 3.5 months. That's the plan. And we wanna take it sailing. I think it'd be smarter to see how this boat actually moves in the water first, see how it rides, possibly try to get a rig on it. Just do the basics, get out of here, and then next hurricane season, do some crazy stuff if we think it needs it.
Yeah.
So as much as we wanna just dive in and pimp this sucker out, we gotta keep our heads screwed on tight and get back out there. Okay, so last week we had some very credible sources help us inspect the boat and we feel pretty good about it, but we left the episode on finding out that we had a 1/2 inch of tolerance in the floor here. There's some deflection, so the floor is bowing like this and there's a 1/2 inch of deflection in the center. We contacted Lagoon, we emailed them, we haven't heard back from them. We really want to get their input on factory tolerances. That would be very helpful. Or if any of you have like a Lagoon 450F or an S, then do the string test for us and let us know what your deflection is. Well, this is the compression post, and this is where the mast is. The mast has wires going down to the sides of the boat. So you gotta think, when those wires are compressed, it's pulling the sides of the boat, it's flexing the boat, just like this actually. The sides go up and the mast comes down, so you're gonna get even more bow in this area. And the deflection that we found is just enough for us to question whether something might have popped. We're gonna take a spy cam, like a little boring scope or a scope, I don't know what you call it, but like it's a camera on this string, and we're gonna put it in some cracks and crevices and see if we can find any places where the glue has cracked or any bulkheads have cracked, any places we couldn't see in the physical inspection from last week. So with the boat flexing right here where I'm standing, it's kind of in between two main bulkheads. There's a bulkhead along this sliding glass door, this whole wall, and there's a bulkhead that goes under that wall. But from the inside, there's no warping in this wall, there's no cracks in the wall, there's no warping here like we've seen other boats where this wall kind of crinkled and you would see this like wavy. Same with that side. Ours is perfectly straight, but we do know that that bulkhead under the floor is glued in, so we're gonna run the spy cam down there to check that. And then on this side, this is the main forward bulkhead. This is where your mast is, this is where your shrouds go down on each side. So this is where the majority of your torque is in the boat. And this is a big bulkhead, and that's why the Lagoon fix is on this forward bulkhead, because a lot of the bulkheads were failing in this region because it's like the weakest, smallest part of the bulkhead. So we did a physical inspection down there. We looked in here, but we need to run the spy cam along the back and see if we can see any sort of cracking or delamination that we couldn't see with our physical eye. So that's what we're gonna do.
So this is a little Bluetooth camera we got off Amazon. It's got a front-facing camera. It's also got this side-facing camera. And so we can see everything right here on my phone as well.
So we're gonna come down, and that is the epoxy that they use when they just set the two molds on everything. And that's where usually you'll see the cracking and the separation. So we'll follow that down. Apologies for it not being super smooth. This is a flimsy wire. And so far, we've got nothing. All the way up there, there's no separation. And that's a spot where a weak point where the conduit goes through too. So we'll follow it back behind us now. And then it drops down into this little cavity. There's the glue. You can see it kind of dropping down. That drain box is where my feet are. And then we're gonna go under that and check it out. So you can tell they smushed some epoxy in between, more or less just hold everything in place. And I don't see anything alarming there. Okay, we come back down to this other side. I don't know, there's a little bit of cracking right there. Can you see that on the screen?
Yeah.
But I think that's just the box where the water collects. I don't think that has anything to do with the structure. I don't know. You don't see that crack run down the hole anywhere. So there's the back of this box that my feet are in right here. And what you're looking at now, if we take this camera, point it that way, is the V down the center of the boat. So that is all this area running down, and I don't see any cracks in any of the hole. You can see like a little column coming up and attaching the deck over there, as well as one over here. So that is the port side column that's holding the floor up. That's the starboard. I don't see any separation on the tops of those. All right, so we're gonna go on the starboard side now. I'm gonna peek my head in before I throw this camera in here to see what I'm looking at. Right out the gate, look at this, Sash. You can see this little tubing, and you might have seen that on the other side. This looks like, you know, it might look like damage or cracking to some of you, but that looks to me like it's from the mold where they sucked out excess resin, and it looks like a resin line that they just left in and left under here and painted over top of. It's got some damage on it, but that's nothing structural right there. What we need to examine is that glue running down the whole bottom side of this bulkhead and upper. So we're gonna stick the camera into this side and see if there's anything striking. Thought that was a crack for a second, but it's just some sort of line. Yeah, I don't see anything there. Let's look off to the right this time. So we got our steering cables. Those run down under the hull. And again, way back in the back, right over there, you can see those columns that we examined earlier. So we're back in the same area. So there's not too much we can see from here. All right, so that's the box that, once again, my feet are in. Let's try to come down this little valley here again, and once again we see no cracks. I think that's confirmed. I think this bulkhead along the back here is like totally fine. We've examined it from top to bottom. Of course, there was a little bit of movement. There was like some slight cracks in the gel coat in certain areas, but there's no warping along that back wall. Okay, so we can even look up top. And there's no cracks along that back wall. I can see all the way down there. And like we said before, we need to glue in the roof, but that's it. That whole bulkhead is good. So now let's double check this front bulkhead.
Go in from the inside and look underneath this.
Oh,
we can look right under here. There's access.
That's a good idea. So we looked on that side of the bulkhead.
Yeah, this side.
Tell them.
So we looked on the back, the aft side of the bulkhead from the cockpit, and now we can actually get access to the forward side of the bulkhead through here, which I think would be beneficial to check just to cover all our bases. But you can see there's like a little hole. The scope would through.
Yeah, we need to get
there.
that light and shine in there.
Yeah. Well, right when we were gonna go look at the forward side of the bulkhead, this thing died.
It's all right. Y'all were probably getting bored of the structure anyways. Let's get to doing something else. So, I hope you guys are enjoying the rawness of this rebuild. It's kind of odd because the last time we were throwing like 3 projects in an episode, but we really want to take you through every step and show you exactly what we're analyzing. There's going to be a lot of planning first. We are going to dive into projects and start getting dirty, but these next 2 episodes take a lot of thinking before you start digging. So
A lot of prep work.
A lot of prep work. So we're about to start getting dirty here. We're about to start clearing out this boat, washing it down, and getting straight into it. So bear with us as we analyze the structure. First thing we got to do is get some stuff out of the way, like this AC duct to help us see. And I'm just gonna cut it. I know there's some screws up there. All right, let's get that spy cam back here. Okay. That's the glue up top. that all looks good. No signs of delamination or cracking. Okay, we're coming downtown. Look at that. That's tabbed. That looks beautiful. There's no cracking there. It looks good. Look at this. Oh man, come on, you can't beat that view. That's the base of the main forward bulkhead. There's nothing there. Like you see a little slopage, but that's built up fiberglass where the two layers meet. If that was actually bowed from the impact or a warped wall, that would look all white and messed up. That's perfect. Okay, maybe we can run it down this compression post. Come on, let's get a view down here. So there's a little camera on the side of this. That'll give us a side point of view. Okay, that had me worried for a second, but that is not a crack. Base of the compression post is perfect. Let's shoot it this way.
Wait, look outside quickly. Look at the puppy. The dog is so cute. He wants to help. Oh, shoot, he fell. He's so cute. Yeah, you.
All right, now we're gonna go down this wall here. Check that. Going down to the base. All that looks good there. That is the base of the bulkhead. Once again, no cracking, no delamination. Everything's straight along this wall. You see some fiberglass here, but that is just factory, just the edges off the top.
You didn't clean it up.
They didn't clean it up. Moving down. Now it's getting tougher to control. Well, that's a chase line along the base. And as you can see, that base looks really good. Nothing concerning. That's something maybe we need to lay our eyes on. It looks like dirty fiberglass. There's a little bit of white under it, but I think that's just more factory stuff. The bulkhead looks good from this side. We can go check the front side up there. So this is the front side of that bulkhead. And again, what we looking at, people? I ain't seeing nothing. I ain't seeing nothing. So where's that deflection coming from? Is that just natural deflection? I'd like to know the factory tolerance in the floor, and I'd like to hear it straight from the manufacturer. The people we talked to last week are knowledgeable and very credible in my opinion, but there were still a few comments saying that we're stuck in our YouTube bubble and take what we say for a grain of salt, but I think those people just don't know what the hell they're talking about, because we have analyzed a ton of stuff, and you can't fit an entire inspection in a 30-minute episode. Each one of those guys that I FaceTimed and went through the boat with, and Rolf, like, dude, Rolf was here for 4 hours. Colin was on the phone for an hour, and same with David. So, you know, these weren't 20-minute powwows. What you see, Sash? There's a little cracking right there.
Yeah, this is the only cracking I see. This is just a floating floor, and I think there's a space underneath.
Exactly. And actually, if I remember correctly, there was people on the owner's forum that drilled holes in them because water can collect under those things.
But here, let me show them the glue, because you can see the glue.
What? It's all good.
It's all good, yeah.
All the tabbing
Like
is good.
all the tabbing, all the seams. I don't see any cracking up here. This glue is all good, which I think if the bulkhead was twisted, this is where we'd see cracking. It's kind of cozy in here.
Well, good. That's your new cabin.
Okay.
So there is some cracking right there, but there's no cracking in any of the tabbing in any of the structural areas. It's just this floating floor here. So I have no doubt that this boat twisted a little bit, but like Rolf said, it didn't exceed the properties of the material. The bulkhead looks good from this side. That bulkhead looks good. I don't know if there's any bulkheads along the floor here. Maybe there could be like a couple of stringers in here where the glue popped. I mean, I don't see how anything under here could be damaged super bad if the two main bulkheads that sandwich them look perfect. But I gotta do some research and see how we can access that if they're even there. Maybe something could come up in the future, but right now I'm feeling good so far, so.
Nothing alarming has shown yet, but we have only scratched the surface in a way.
We've only scratched the surface. All right, we're back. The filler that we use has dried, so we're about to sand that off right now. All right, so we got the top sanded, we got the bottom sanded, and now we are about to use some finish by Total Boat. This is Total Boat Gleam. Exterior, it has max UV protection, and it says, quick finish, 1 hour overcoat without sanding. I am ready to see this transformation. This is my favorite part about woodworking, is throwing on that finish and just seeing something old and rustic just come back to life. So we're putting tin foil down, because
We don't want any drippage on the cockpit floor.
and that's all we have right now. Another thing we don't have on board right now is a stir stick, so we are using shish kebab sticks. Look at that. Mesmerizing. Let's see. And just like that, it is magic. Look at that. Dude, that's gonna look like $1 million. Look at that.
That looks pretty good.
That is gonna be someone's new cockpit table. It's only gonna look nicer and nicer with every coat that we apply. We're gonna build up those coats. That's gonna be so sick. It's gonna make the cockpit look so nice. Makes me wanna put this stuff on our teak, or maybe we can leave that for the winter, because you need some projects too, you know? We got plenty.
Well guys, I know this episode was a bit sporadic. We're in a bit of a limbo right now, but we have a lot of projects to take care of and little time to do it, especially on this boat.
We hope you enjoyed it, and we will definitely try to catch a rhythm here soon. But like we said, we're live, and hopefully y'all just enjoy being along for the ride. Before we leave, one last time, less than 2 weeks left to enter the giveaway. 50-foot Beneteau Cyclades ready to hit the water. Whoever wins, we're gonna take you out cruising. We're gonna show you the ropes of this boat and teach you how to sail if you don't know how. And as always, we want to give a massive thanks to all of our patrons. Like we say every week, we could not do these videos without you guys. Your consistent support is the only reason why we
Are able to
film
and keep doing this journey.
Yeah, so thank you so much.
But thanks again so much for joining us this week, and we'll see you guys next week here on Spirit Animal.